This is it, people. I found the greatest FPS of all time, Robocop for the PS2. And this game is so awesome. It was made by Titus, the greatest developers of all time. Too bad they had to close because they've made other great games such as Superman 64 and Carmageddon 64. In fact, this game is so much better than Fugitive Hunter, maybe about as bad as the Sniper 2. I don't know. This game is just so shitty. I have to show you. So when you first start the game, you see a sign that this game is going to be great. That fox. Yes, people, this game was made by Titus, the greatest game development studio of all time. Yep, I think that's going to give you an indication that this game is going to be very high quality and the greatest game of all time. As you can also see, it's movie licensed, which means it's going to be good as well. And it used Renderware, the same great engine that powered classics such as Shadow the Hedgehog. And then, of course, you have to see some poorly rendered CGI cutscene. I mean, why is it always shitty movie licensed games they can't ever put the real footage in, and instead they have to use shitty, poorly CGI rendered footage? But hey.
This is the police. Drop all your weapons.
Drop all your weapon. It's got poor grammar, which tells you that this game was made by people who probably weren't very fluent in English. Whatever, let's get to the gameplay, shall we? So after waiting a while for the game to load, you get to see some of the greatest most emotional cutscenes of all time. Just look at those graphics. They definitely do not look like a bad N64 game. I mean, as we can clearly see by the fact that, just look at his animations. He walks blocky, and he like picks up the gun randomly and just starts walking blockily like an N64 game. This game clearly pushes the limits of the PS2. So then afterwards, when you actually get to the gameplay, you see some of the greatest PS2 graphics of all time. I mean, look at this. Just look at how detailed these textures are. I mean, they look like an N64 game. And the frame rate, too. The frame rate is incredible. The frame rate is so good, it makes Shadow the Hedgehog look like a NES game. I mean, not only is the frame rate so incredibly high here, but all the enemies are so overpowered they take like 10 shots to kill unless you try to aim it at the head, except due to the controls and the shitty frame rate, you can't always aim at the head. I mean, I'm not even making this up. This game is just bad, and the enemies are overpowered too. They all shoot at you all the time, and then they're always hard to kill because they're hiding and shit, so you can't shoot them, and they're always shooting wherever you aren't. And of course, let's not forget, the game has some of the greatest explosions ever. Just look at that explosion. It was so amazing. It caused the PS2 to slow down. And then sometimes enemies don't even spawn, like right here. There was an enemy supposed to spawn. He didn't even spawn. And let's not forget that the graphics are so good that the roof in that building glitches up. Just look at that incredible aiming system. The hitbox for that building is so big that apparently it repeals the shots. Yep, that's right. Even though I'm aiming it obviously over it, apparently I can't shoot down there. What the fuck? Who designed this crap? I mean, and you can't even jump or crouch either. I mean, I'm not even kidding. You can't jump or crouch at all in this game, and this game came out in 2002, 2003. By then, you could crouch and jump in every FPS. I mean, you could do it in Half-Life, you could do it in Quake, you could do it in everything, but not this game. What the hell? But then again, it's made by Titus, the greatest game developers of all time, so I'm obviously not seeing its greatness right now. The game is supposed to be a first-person shooter. Keep that in mind. Supposed to be. The guns, there's only like 1 or 2 weapons in the entire game. The frame rate is so bad, you can barely even do anything when it's running like a PowerPoint. And of course, you also have to deal with the fact that the enemies have poor hit detection and are impossible to kill. When you try to shoot them half the time, they won't die unless you give them like 10 shots. I mean, what the fuck? They should just die quicker. And also, get this, there's no checkpoints in the entire game. Unlike other games like Half-Life or Halo, where you have checkpoints, or other games like Quake or Doom, where you have short levels and no checkpoints. This game has big levels and no checkpoints. What were they thinking? I mean, it's impossible to beat like this. And of course, you've got the hit detection. The hit detection never works either. I mean, just watch me trying to shoot this guy.
You want a piece of me? Let the man go. You are under arrest.
It should be aiming at his head, right? Well, guess what? Boom! I took a shot at his head and it freaking missed, even though it was aimed toward it. This is the greatest hit detection of all time. Look, it took him like several tries just to kill that one guy. Wow. Oh yeah, right. There's no real sounds in the game other than the generic FPS sounds, but hey, it does have the greatest explosions ever on the PS2. And the greatest frame rate as well. I mean, this frame rate makes Shadow the Hedgehog look good. Like, really? Just really? I mean, the frame rate, I have no words for. And of course, do I have to mention the glitchy graphics again? Oh right, never mind, they're just so glitchy that I don't even know what they're smoking when they designed this game. Did they even bug test this game? The enemies you fight are all the same too. They're just generic thugs, more generic thugs, even more generic thugs. And of course, you get to fight giant sewer rats randomly. I'm not even kidding. Yup, in a game about shooting bad guys, you get to shoot giant sewer rats for no reason. Who are almost impossible to kill, just like every other enemy in this game. I mean, and they have no animation either. But then again, what did you expect? This game must have been ported from the N64, as we can all clearly see from its incredible graphics engine. Anyways, this game, I can't even play it because it was just so poorly coded. I mean, did they even bug test this game or look at the graphics? Because the graphics of this game are just terrible. And of course, Robocop just says random shitty lines over and over again just to annoy the shit out of you when you're bored. All in all, this game is terrible. Don't even buy it. I mean, even though it says bad games in the title, I'm just reminding you anyway, just because I can. Anyways, thanks for watching, and obviously subscribe for more.